All right, here we are, Impact and Influence Radio right here on Opera, and today's broadcast is brought to you by Blinds of Sacramento, Sacramento's complete solution window covering experts. Give them a call, 916-790-8689 or blindsofsacramento.com. Now today, we've got a lovely lady in here, Rebekah Cadiz. Did I get that correctly?
Yes.
Rebekah Cadiz, and she goes by Reba. And we met her at one of the M&O events with Aaron Provenzel. If you guys are not aware, we have events with Aaron, and of course you can contact Aaron through our member directory and learn about the M&O events. But let's really dig deep. Welcome.
Thank you.
This is your first time doing anything like this?
Yes, it is.
Is it very uncomfortable?
It's a little nervous. I'm a little nervous, yes.
You'll be just fine. You'll be just fine. So, Rebekah, who is Rebekah Cadiz?
Well, I'm about 5'1", blonde, brown eyes.
Long walks on the beach.
My sign is Leo. Rebekah Cadiz. So I don't know. I mean, normally I'm kind of quiet, and except for when I am around my close and dearest friends, so I can really come out of my shell then. I work hard. I'm trustworthy. I'm loyal. I'm a good friend, good mom.
So you went to the M&O event, and if I remember correctly, that was your first time ever going to a networking event.
Live networking event.
Live networking.
Second time ever.
Yeah. And so are you going to get back in or get into the whole networking culture and start going to all these things and getting to know everyone?
I'm on some of them, yes. I don't know about all the live ones because those are kind of during my pivotal time of working hours.
Yes, yeah.
But I'm joining the M&O Zoom networking group, and I really look forward to working with that.
What's your off time? Are you available in the evenings?
I am available in the evenings, mostly the evenings.
Okay, because we have on our platform, we've got, 10 to 15 evening events a month on there. And so I always tell people, just if it's on the site, I'm there. It's just I'm a workaholic. I get bored sleeping, so I'm always bored. So I always have to be doing something. But I say, you know what? Go to the events. Follow me. If you're there, I'll introduce you to people. Awesome. And so it makes it very, very easy because people are like, oh, I don't want to walk up to a group of people I see, and I go, that would be a good connection. And I go, follow me, and I go, you talk, and then I turn around, and then they're walking around together, and it just starts to build something from there, because that's really, you just need those introductions.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, I've never heard of you get bored sleeping before. That's a new one on me.
So I told you a little bit about my history. So music was always my outlet, right? And so with music, you take your mind out of the surroundings, and so with the business, I'm focused on the business, but when you overwork on your business, you burn out, or you start tinkering with things that don't need tinkering. And so I've always got to have my mind on things. Otherwise, all of my childhood stuff starts in your head. And so I'm always like trying to keep my mind on things that are positive, things that are encouraging. So yeah, my buddy's like, you should watch movies. Nah, I'm good. No, I'm good. All right. So now tell me what it is that you do. What do you do?
So my business is Cadiz Bookkeeping. I like to go in and rearrange a closet, make it more organized, putting all of the deductions into this, little buckets and things that might be that not non-deductible. Basically, want to clean up everything for your business, your financials, and so that you can take a quick glance and see if you are in the profit or in the negative, or do you want to grow your business? Having clean financial records, really.
Now, where did you get into this? Have you always been a financial person?
No. I did a little bit of I was a store manager in my 20s for a local real estate association, and I got into it a little bit there, and then I took a long hiatus and started working for the state. And when I was with the state, I did have a position there where I did a little bit of purchase orders and bank reconciliations, all the stuff that a lot of people find very boring. I actually enjoy it.
They say that bookkeepers are best introverts than extroverts.
Yes, I'm both. I depends on the environment.
I think they're calling those now, they call them outroverts.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess there's a new terminology. I don't know. Like, I would be completely fine sitting in a room by myself all day and just doing my thing, but apparently I have fun going to networking events. Who would have thought? Yeah.
Well, you really are good at talking with people. So
That's a funny thing, actually. So my radio career started completely on accident. And so I'd been a musician most of my life. And then I had just left. I was doing mortgages, and I had just left my mortgage gig in 2014-ish. And so 2015. And so I'm sitting at Starbucks, and we're building Opera, which is our platform that everyone knows now. And so I'm building Opera 2015. I'm sitting at a Starbucks, and I'm pitching somebody at Starbucks. I couldn't even remember who it was. Maybe it was the district manager of Starbucks. I don't remember. Somebody. And so I'm pitching someone at Starbucks, and this guy walks up to me, and he goes, "You got a really great voice." And he goes, "You should do a radio show." And I was like, I guess I could do a radio show. That'd be kind of cool. So I thought that they wanted to hire me to do a radio show. They just wanted to sell me advertising. But I understood leverage. And I understood how to build a business and leveraging. Because remember, I had just closed my retail stores. And so I'm sitting there, in the conference room at the radio station, and the executives are all in their suits and their ties, and they slide over this contract. It's like an inch thick. It's like a mortgage. Like, literally, it's like $1,800 a month or something. It's like literally like a mortgage. And I'm like, oh my. So I start doing the math, and I'm like, I could make a lot of money doing this. Like, this is like a really good opportunity. So here I am calling my wife, and I'm going, I know I'm not working, and I know I should be selling, but I just signed up for, $1,800 a month for the next 12 months. It's a lot of freaking money, And so I just said, screw it. Let's do it. And we became number one FM radio within a year. And so that whole talking to people thing, I had the salesman shoes. And then the day I go in to record my first show, the producer is a old veteran, had been in the business like 35 years. And he goes, "Okay, kid, I got to teach you how to talk." And I'm like, "What?" He goes, "You got to learn how to talk." And so he learned how to enunciate. And so you have it. And so, it was about a year later, I asked my wife, "Do I talk different than when we got together?" She goes, "Oh yeah, it's hilarious. Like, I order a pizza. Hi, how you doing today? I'd like to order a pizza." It just sounds, it's all proper. Yeah, it's funny.
That's amazing.
It's funny. Yeah. So where did your bookkeeping come from?
Well, I've always been very analytical in taking care of my, keeping track of my own finances. Hate to say this, but before I really got into spreadsheets, I kept them on little 3x5 cards.
Nothing wrong with that.
And I kept those cards for years, decades actually. And then I moved everything over to spreadsheets. And before I knew it, I was in it all the time, not worried about money, but more just playing with it. How can I make it look better? How can I make it more organized?
You just found it fun.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's like a puzzle.
And then my husband, he matches me pretty well with that. He probably is even more analytical with it than I am.
What's he do?
He works for the state as well. Yeah, he doesn't do bookkeeping at this time. His fun thing is playing with stocks. He really likes to play with stocks.
Yeah. So you guys are just doing numbers. It's just a game. It really is. Yeah. And once you understand the core of it, then it's dollars and cents and putting, again, like you said, organizing, putting things in buckets.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been at this 30 years. The business is 30 years old this year. There was a couple of moments. There was a bankruptcy, and I was homeless twice, and still here, still doing it after all these years. Had to get a couple of jobs in there, but still doing it. And after a while, you just learn how to navigate. And so that's what you're doing. So how long have you been doing it now?
So I started Cadiz Bookkeeping 2023.
Okay.
Later in the year, but it was in 2023. So about 2.5 years now.
And you're enjoying it? You're growing?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Do you find it really rewarding talking with small businesses, and they're trying to figure out how to navigate and how to grow, and then you're like, let me handle that, and then you start showing them things?
I find it when they see the light, when they see how valuable the reports are, instead of just looking at either their shoe boxes of receipts or however they're keeping track of their finances, then when I see the light go on in their eyes, that's what's rewarding for me, honestly.
Where's your passion come in on this? I mean, were you always a numbers kid? No, you weren't. See, when I was growing up, I would sit there with number patterns, and I would literally figure out mathematical equations like 10, 12 years old. I came up with some crazy stuff. I'll give you one. Give me any number between 10 and infinity, just any number.
88.
Okay, that's a really good number. Okay, so 88, if you add those up, that's 16, right? You subtract 16, and you have 7 and 2, and you add those up, it'll always equal 9. And that's one of the things that I figured out is 10, 11, 12 years old, just always looked at number patterns. And if you take the 7 and 2 and subtract that, you're going to end up with 63, and it equals 9. It's so cool.
I really enjoyed seeing those little things, especially now when you look at social media and you say, I figured this out, and don't use a calculator. I will use my head.
Yeah. And so that's the fun in it. And so that's why you're enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
Where do you want to take this company? Do you want to build this thing into something big, or do you want to keep this small and manageable?
Medium. I don't want to go nationwide. I can work within the United States as long as I learn each state's laws. But I'm kind of right now I'm focusing on California and this greater Sacramento area region. Just focusing there, and want to take it one client at a time. I don't want to get so where I can't still give the client one-on-one relationship.
Do you think that AI is going to not necessarily take your job, but do you think it'll make your job easier, or do you think that'll make your job harder in the sense that people will be like, well, I could probably just use AI to do this, and then they end up screwing a bunch of stuff up?
That's an excellent question. I use AI, or recently started using AI, and while helpful, it has given me the wrong answer.
A lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what it does, though, for me is it kind of gets my brain working. So it's like, okay, I hadn't thought of going that direction with it. So that's what I use AI for.
So we had, I had a song called Driving Daytona, and we did a music video that was very reminiscent of the chase scene from the movie Bullitt, 1969 movie Bullitt with Steve McQueen. And so I had a Mustang Bullitt, and a friend of mine at the time had a black Dodge Charger. So we were like, dude, let's go and redo this. So we went and shot like a new version of it. It was really, really neat, but the music never fit. And so the 4th of July, one day I'm recording this song, and so I couldn't figure out what I wanted to call it. So I called it 74 for 4th of July. And so I'm sitting there and I found that the song fit the sequence perfectly for this music video. And so I'm like, oh my God, I got to figure out how I can tie in Steve McQueen. So I go into ChatGPT and I say, give me all of the significances of 74 to Steve McQueen. And it goes, oh, well, Steve McQueen's race car number when he drove was number 74. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so cool. And I called my buddy, and I'm like, dude, you won't believe this. And I get on, and so I go, I got to see this. So I pull it up online. There was nothing anywhere. So then I went back to ChatGPT and I go, what was the race car number for Steve McQueen? Oh, it was number 55. I said, was there ever a 74? No, there was never a 74. I'm thinking, why didn't you just tell me this? And so that's the problem with AI is that, we see it and we're like, oh, no way. And then it's wrong. Flat out wrong.
Right.
Where did they get that from?
I couldn't tell you.
It was so wrong. It was wrong.
Wanted to make you feel good.
Well, once I went to Google and typed in 1974 and Steve McQueen, nothing came up, at all. He was completely off the grid in 74. It was wild. Yeah. So, what types of clients are you looking for?
So I work well with the small clients, small businesses. I can also work with individuals for personal finances, and anyone who's really just needing, if you're at a point in your business where you're wondering when am I going to even have the time to look at your bank account?
Oh my God.
That's probably a good time to give a bookkeeper, such as myself, a call.
Yeah. No, seriously, if you're having trouble managing, you got to get your business under control, man, because that's devastating.
I've been known to give people their lives back. I mean, not just the business time, but the time with their families.
Yeah. That's a whole separate conversation. And you go to these networking events like, oh, I own 5 businesses. No, you don't, dude. You do 5 things, but you don't own 5 businesses. And because you wouldn't do 5 businesses if you realized what actually went into 5 businesses. You'd never have time. You'd never be able to function.
Right. And you're maybe managing that and having a whole bunch of other people doing it. I don't know.
Well, the argument is, oh, well, if I give 50% of my time to my business and the other 50% I'm going to give to my family. It doesn't work like that.
No.
But you're giving 33% to your family. You're giving 33% to your business, and then you have to give yourself 33%. But then do you have any hobbies? Okay, so now you're giving 25, 25, and 25. Now imagine if you had 3 businesses and you're breaking that up into all these different things. You're giving like 18% and 12% and 6%, and it's just like, dude, like you've really got to get your stuff in order. And so again, that's where somebody like yourself would come in and say, look, I can handle this part of it. You're talking small businesses, mom and pop size businesses.
I can do medium-sized businesses, but when you start getting to be in a bigger corporation, you usually want to have in-house.
Now, with what do you find is the biggest maybe challenge or rebuttal that you're getting from a small business owner? Like, I can handle my finances myself.
Yeah, and awesome. If you can, awesome. If you just need to...
I use QuickBooks.
QuickBooks is what I use too. And QuickBooks, but are you organizing it correctly? Are you putting everything into the right categories? Are you in not only the categories, but do you have the categories themselves?
Well, how messy is everything?
Right. Is it mapped to the right, equity or liability account? Do you just have it all?
Yeah. I just say dumb it down. Keep everything super simple, and you don't have to deal with any of the drama. But if you've got employees and all that other stuff, dude, you got to get dialed, man. Yeah. Separate bank accounts, separate everything.
Yeah, the biggest red flags that I'm seeing, especially with the smaller businesses, is exactly that. It's their commingling business with the personal, and that's the first thing that I'm going to help you do is separate it.
All that. Yeah.
You need to have your business 100% separate.
Yeah. It's people want what they want, and you're going to end up arguing with them all day until they get it wrong.
Well, I'm not actually here to argue, but when you see, like you said, when you see the light, and you will at some point.
Yes.
Maybe your CPA will say, "Hey, you need to do this," and you're wondering, "Well, how do I do that?" Oh, well, Rebekah over at Cadiz Bookkeeping.
Well, the hardest part for a small business owner, I remember when I was trying to find employees for the retail store, was, how do you have enough money to have everything lined up for payroll and all that other stuff? That's the hardest hurdle for when you're making that leap is like, I've got to be able to survive and pay my bills, and I have to have the rent and everything covered and employees and just all the stuff that goes into it, and turn profit and order product and insurance and just all the, it's insane. And so
if I'm doing the bookkeeping, now you have time to work on your actual core of your business.
Correct.
So go out, make your sales. The money will come for you.
Yeah.
And I don't cost as much as probably what you are paying yourself per hour.
Interesting. That's an interesting, explain that to me.
So let's just say, for example, you pay yourself, I don't know, $1,000 a month, right? And then I know these are really low numbers, but you can pay.
I'm only paying $300 a month for rent. I live in 1986.
Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
You need a couple of teenagers to move in with you?
Right.
I've got 2. So anyway, getting back to that, your time is now worth $1,000 a month. And as your bookkeeper, I'm going to come in and let's just say hypothetically, my fee is $500 to $800 a month. Now I've just saved you $500 to $300 a month. And what are you going to do with that? Well, you're going to put that time right back into your business.
Yeah.
And another thing is like with the bigger corporations who have their bookkeeping in-house, well, they're paying workman's comp. They're paying time for an employee to just sit there.
Yeah, I know. And that's always been my biggest thing about employees is like you could outsource all of this stuff now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even employment agencies, they handle all of that now.
Yes.
Yeah, we were actually exploring that for sales, having sales agents go out and sell the magazine and stuff, and we were talking with the Apple One or whatever the employment agency is, and they were awesome. I couldn't believe just their platform was just like, you pay us and we handle all the rest. And I'm like, dude, that is so cool. Yeah. You just outsource all of it, and you still don't have any employees. It's just such an awesome thing. Yeah. So, all right, cool. 916-743-7771. 916-743-7771. CadizBookkeeping.com. Anything you want to add before we get out of here?
No, I thank you very much for your time.
Absolutely.
It's been a pleasure being here, and I just want to give a shout out to my wonderful husband and children. Yo! And that's all. Thank you.
916-743-7771, CadizBookkeeping.com. That's CADIZ bookkeeping.com. And hey, I want to thank you so much. And I want to thank everyone for listening and being a part of what we're doing. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.